Hello everyone, my name is Juan Carlos Piñeros, I'm from Bogota, Colombia, and today I'm going to talk about how to perform some important editing tasks in our DAWs. Specifically, I'm going to use Reaper. Reaper is an excellent tool, it's an excellent digital audio workstation, and it has a very competitive price. So let's start it. So the first thing that I would like to show you is how to use our zoom in Reaper. It's very easy, you just need to use your mouse wheel as shown here. You can zoom in or zoom out, and by default it's going to be centered around the cursor. You can change that behavior very easily. You can go to options and preferences, and then you can select other options here in your drop down menu. If you want to zoom in the other axis, you just need to press Ctrl and then use also the mouse wheel. The next thing that I would like to show you is how to change the edges of a region. I could put my mouse there and move it to wherever I want to. This is also very useful. This is called trimming and also edging. It is very important to understand that I'm changing the region and not the underlying audio file. So it's called non-destructive editing. Another very common task that we are going to use a lot is to cut or to separate regions, and in Reaper this is done very easily. I just need to select a region and I'm going to press the S key, and now I have two regions, as you can see here, this one and this one. And this is also a non-destructive editing since the underlying reference audio file remains unchanged. Sometimes you may want to move a region, and this is done very easily with the mouse, but there's other option and it's called nudge or nudging. And to do that in Reaper, you just have to select a region and then go to item and nudge set item. The other option is to press the N key, and you have to hear this dialog box, and then you can change the way you're going to move it, since milliseconds, minutes, grid units, measures, samples, frames. There are a lot of options. So for instance, if I want to nudge by 1 millisecond, I'm going to use nudge right or nudge left, and it's going to move just a little bit. I could move it based on the grid, for instance, and it's going to move way more. This is very useful when editing music. Another way to move our regions is just to click on them and move them with the mouse, and I could use that based on the grid if I have the grid activated, or I can click on here and I could move it like freely in our DAWs. So if I need to change that region based on the grid, I would activate the grid. I could use Alt G to activate or deactivate the grid, and I could also right click on the grid and adjust the settings of how I'm going to use the grid. The other important thing that you want to do when you are working on your DAW is the concept of fades, and fades are related with how the sound vanish smoothly. So for instance, here I have a region. I'm going to zoom in this region, and it has this fade, so I'm going to change it. I could change the fades in this way. I need to go to the edges and move the fade in the way I want to. I could also use crossfade, and that's when two regions overlap. For instance, I'm going to overlap them, and by default this is going to be created by Reaper, but I can adjust them the way I want to. I could change the parameters, I could do many things here with the crossfade. It's very Sometimes we would also like to play the same part over and over repeatedly, and this is called cycling, and in Reaper it's done very easily. You select the region that you want to keep on playing, and then you click on this button and activate the repeat function, and you're going to repeat and repeat that same part so you can hear it and work on that. Sometimes when you're editing and you have different regions, you want to merge them, and please be careful, because in some DAW this is a destructive editing, so it's changed the underlying related audio file. In Reaper it's very easy to do. You just have to select the first region, then shift and select the other region, and then go to item and glue items. And as you can see now, it's just one region, it was merged. The last thing that I'm going to mention, and that is very important, is how to organize your work. So the first thing that you may want to do is to change the color of your region. This is done very easily. You just right click on the region and then go to a item and take color, set item to custom color, and change the color to whatever you want. You can also double click on the region, and over here you can change the name of the region, and okay. And there's also markers are also important, and for that you can come here, right click, and insert marker, and you can name the marker, for instance, first, and you can also set a custom color. Markers are very important to know where things are. I'm going to use another marker here, for instance, and I'm going to name it 2 and change the color. And this is also very useful because you can move from one marker to another by shift and brackets. This is a very useful way to move between markers. So this is pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I would be very happy if you leave a comment. Thank you very much.